The adventurers stood at the edge of a frozen cliff, looking up at the Storm King's throne. At its peak sat Thalgron, Thunderborn, a storm giant whose eyes crackled with lightning. But it was the creature beside him that made him hesitate. Voltakar, a massive behir, uncoiled from the rocks. Its 12 clawed limbs gripped the ice as its long scale body shifted. His deep, rumbling breath filled the air. "You seek my aid?" Thalgron asked, his voice rolling like distant thunder. The bard, Lysara, stepped forward. "The dragon Icefang has turned the 10 towns into a graveyard. You're the only one strong enough to stop her." The Behir's golden eyes locked onto hers.
"That frost worm has trespassed in my skies for too long,"
he hissed, lightning flickering between his teeth.
"I will show her who rules the storm."
Without another word, Voltakar launched himself from the peak, moving with terrifying speed. The adventurers followed as best they could, while Thalgron only laughed, his sound of his voice shaking the cliffs. The battle came at dawn over Easthaven. Icefang, the dragon, dove from the sky with a roar, but Voltakar met her midair. His body coiled around her, forcing her down. The ice shattered as they crashed onto the frozen lake. The dragon thrashed, biting into his flank. Voltakar roared and struck back, his jaws locking onto her throat. Then he reared up and unleashed a bolt of lightning. It ripped through her body, lighting up the sky. When the blast faded and the smoke cleared, Icefang lay still, her scales blackened and smoking. Voltakar uncoiled, stepping back. He looked at the adventurers, then up towards the stormy peaks.
"Tell the 10 towns,"
he said, his voice low but certain.
"Their storm has returned."
Welcome to today's video on the Behir. What does the monster manual tell you? Let's go over that first. So the tagline in the 2024 rules for the Behir is that it's a lightning spewing glutton. The Behir is a 12-legged reptilian predatory hunter. It has a blue scaly body and an unquenchable taste for unhatched dragon eggs. Behir were said to be created by storm giants during a war against dragons. Behir are described as being a magical iteration on blue dragons by the giants, hence their lightning breath. This animosity between Behirs and dragons makes all dragons hostile to Behirs, with the dragons viewing Behirs as being quote-unquote dangerous abominations. Behir are said to lair in labyrinthine cave systems where they make use of their superior mobility. So that's about what the monster manual tells you. Not a lot, but it's good detailed lore. Next, let's talk about some stats. So stats-wise, Behir are huge-sized monstrosities with a 50-foot climb and run speed, giving them exceptional mobility. They're CR11 monsters with 17 AC and 168 hit points. The Behir stats are a mixed bag, with superhuman strength at 23, middling stats otherwise. The Behir, despite being a bestial monster, has surprisingly an intelligence of 7, giving it the ability to reason, speak one language in Draconic, and think tactically in combat. The Behir also boasts immunity to lightning damage, which makes sense given its blue dragon lineage. The Behir can make 2 attacks as part of its attack action. This includes a bite, dealing an average of 30 damage, and a constrict, forcing a DC 18 strength save, or the monster is grappled and takes 28 damage. This constrict attack combos with the Behir's swallow bonus action, which ingests a grappled creature, giving it the prone and restrain conditions, and dealing 21 acid damage to the swallowed victim on its end turn. In order to free a swallowed victim, the party needs to make 30 damage to the Behir in 1 round, which forces it to make a DC 14 con save, or vomit up the engulfed member of the party. Alternatively, the Behir could be slain, which allows for the swallowed creature to use 15 feet of movement to exit from the Behir's mouth, resulting in them being prone outside of the Behir. Lastly, the Behir features its marquee feature in its lightning breath, which forces a DC 16 dex save in a 90-foot long cone not cone, line, which deals an average of 66 lightning damage on a fail or 33 on a success. This puts the strength of the Behir's breath attack just above that of an adult blue dragon. Next, let's talk about what the monster manual does not tell you. So, the Behir first appeared in the AD&D adventure, The Lost Caverns of Sojakanth, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Behir are said to be 40 feet in length and weigh up as much as 4 tons. When Behir are born, they're around 2 feet long and feature 6 legs, not 12. And with time, as the Behir grows, around 8 feet per year, more legs grow with the increasing size of the creature. Newly born Behir are said to lack the distinctive horns of their adult aged kin, and in previous editions, the Behir horns were black, but in 5e they are bone coloured. Behir teeth are said to be translucent, but coloured, kind of like stained glass. This meant poachers hunted them down to sell the teeth for profit. Behir are usually lone hunters, but may be found in mated pairs, which live together until eggs were hatched. Mating resulted in 1 to 4 blue-green eggs, which were buried to incubate. Once born, the offspring were driven out of the den to fend for themselves. Behir are said to prefer warm terrain, especially cliff sides, to make their lairs. And a Behir's territory usually spans around 400 square miles. And although a Behir has a dozen legs, they can choose to fold these limbs in and slither around on the ground instead. This doesn't change their movement speed, which I interpret as meaning they only really need to use their claws for climbing or attacking. In previous editions, adventurers could try and hack their way out of the Behir from the inside once swallowed. This was easier than attacking from the outside, as you could imagine, with the inside not being covered in scales. If the master is powerful enough and raises the Behir from a young age, younger than 1, you can tame Behirs and potentially use them as pets or mounts. In the Forgotten Realms, there was a Lamia called Transtra who used magical charms to keep a Behir as a pet. In previous editions, Behir could speak Common, and it is believed that the organs that produce the electricity for Behir's lightning breath is located beside the brain, which results in their violent mood swings and intense changeable emotions. Let's wrap this video up. So, Behir are unique species of lizard whose intelligence has slowly increased across the editions, allowing it more flexibility for personality and charm. I really wanted to use the word charisma, but that's already got baggage in D&D, so let's just use the word charm. Their role as being adversarial to dragons is flavorful, but their solitary nature makes them only really able to solo young dragons or younger. If Behir worked in a pack, like wolves, perhaps if several storm giants mounted them for combat, they could potentially contend with an adult or maybe even an ancient dragon. I've never seen Behir used. I've never fought one, and I've never used one. Potentially this is because of how high their CR is, but reading about them, I could see their use as potential allies against, say, a dragon cult or a band of dragons ruling a land, like in Vox Machina's animated show. I'm not sure why, but I always thought of Behir as living in cold environments. Maybe it's the blue color. But I should digress. Perhaps I am biased, but I would like to see the Behir be expanded upon as potentials for mounts by powerful and magical creatures. The monster is powerful and interesting, but could be even cooler with an intelligent rider mounted atop. So in summary, I have no notes on this monster, and I feel it's been appropriately improved since the 2014 rules. I'm going to give it a 16 out of 20. Leave a comment on what you want me to make a video on next, because I do read all comments. Thank you, bye.